So I've been thinking a lot lately about the line between being a hobbyist and an artist. I think I'm falling in this weird space where I have been a hobbyist. I have been loving and enjoying a hobby of crochet and knitting and fiber art for a little while now. And I have a vision of what it would look like for that hobby to transform me into an artist. So I have decided, I'm not there yet, but I can see in my future me becoming a pattern designer. If you have seen my last video, I started working on a pattern for a halter top. And I am going to work on that pattern while we chat today about the idea of changing from a hobbyist into an artist. Before we get started on that, I want to kind of show you the progress I've made. So I do have my first attempt at the top right here. It turned out really well. It's like a halter neck. You can go into my last video to get a little bit of a sneak peek of what it looks like on. And I will be releasing a video of the entire process of making this. But I have started on my second draft and I have written everything down that I've been doing. I realized in my first draft, there's way too much positive ease. It ended up being a lot bigger than what I want it to be. I'm trying to design it for kind of like a size large, and then I will work on figuring out how to grade it after. I have never done a pattern before. I've never graded a pattern before. So I picked out a different yarn. This is a cotton, and I will put in a picture over here of what the cotton is that I'm using to see if it changed the ease. And I did take off about 2 inches from this. I figured this had about 2 inches of positive ease, so I made this about 2 inches shorter than what I did for that. I haven't finished this, but this is gonna be the front panel. Kind of see it there. And I'm gonna work on this because this is kind of where my joy is right now. And this is a representation of the contrast between becoming a pattern designer, becoming an artist, instead of just a hobbyist. So let's start with why. Why do I want to turn my art from something that is just for me into something that other people can enjoy? And in my past videos, I have talked about how much I really hate capitalism in terms of the pressure that everybody feels to purchase and buy, and how I really want this to be a space where people don't feel that way. And I think there is something to be said for somebody who is trying to push and live off of being an artist, and somebody who is just trying to share their creation. In the past, I have done a ton of other people's patterns. And what's really cool about that is I have seen firsthand how other people's creations have created joy in my life. And I'm not going to try to create patterns to keep up with trends or to make them bestsellers or to force feed what I'm doing down people's throats. But I also have this mission I have been on for the last 2 years to create more and consume less. And if I'm going to sit here and try to make the clothes that I want to wear, and I'm going to do it in a way where I'm building it from start to finish, I am creating my own fashion, my own pattern, my own thing, why not share that with other people? So I'm going to create what I want. And if you want to buy it, cool. If you don't, that is totally fine. I do want this space to continue to be a space where nobody feels pressured into purchasing anything. I'm not trying to monetize this channel. I'm not trying to do anything to kind of contribute to that capitalism. But I also know the joy that other people's patterns have brought me, and maybe this will bring joy to somebody else. And if not, then no big deal, right? I get to put something out there that makes me happy and proud. And it allows me to kind of take ownership of my creativity without having to like pump out a product. I'm not like physically giving you this tank top or creating something that I have to package and ship and you have to wait for. It's immediate gratification for everybody. And it allows other people to tap into their creative juices and mind and maybe inspire somebody else to create something for themselves. So I am kind of at this place where I'm not waiting for permission anymore. I think there's a part of me that has this like imposter syndrome that, oh, I've only been crocheting for a year. What gives me the right to want to create something for other people to follow? And there's a part of me that's like, I mean, you're kind of right. I really don't have a ton of experience. I've never graded anything. The only things I've ever made have been for myself or family. And have I gotten good feedback on those things? Absolutely. Do I feel like I am a teacher? No. And I'm not trying to teach. I am basically trying to move from an observer into a participant in this community because I've been watching, and my favorite content is exactly what I'm giving right now, is watching people build a craft, work towards something that excites them, and this excites me. This makes me really happy because I can follow a pattern for days. And it can be exciting, but it also can get monotonous because I'm not thinking about it. It's like a mindless thing. And for some people, and for me for a while, that was all I wanted or needed. So now I'm moving from that mindless task of creating into a more intentional and mindful task of creating. And that has been, so I started the mission of create more and consume less at the beginning of 2025. And the intention I set for this year was to be more intentional. I've looked at the things that I'm making and I'm trying to make things in an intentional way. So this tank top, for example, I'm gonna wear this. And I probably won't wear the first draft, but I'm probably gonna wear this one. Even if it's not the final draft, even if it's not perfect, I'm going to work on it until I feel like it's something that I would be proud to release. I am going to teach myself how to grade it because learning a new skill is also an intentional action. I'm not trying to mass produce something. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on sending it out to a tech editor or a grader. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build something. I'm going to create it. I'm going to let my friends that know how to crochet read my pattern and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to keep working on it. And the goal is to have this done by mid-April. So in about a month and a week or so, because it is, what's today's date? I think it's March 3rd right now. This is going to go up in a week from today. So what is that, March 10th? So probably from a month from when this video goes up, I would like to have this ready to go. But if it doesn't get there, it doesn't get there. I want this to be something I'm truly proud of because it's giving me so much excitement right now. I can't forget to mark my rows. I think part of me becoming an artist over a hobbyist is finding where that line fits. I'm not trying to necessarily monetize my creativity, but I also would like to be able to see where this can go. So maybe I contradict myself. Maybe I started this channel off wrong by trying to make it uncapitalistic in a capitalistic world, but I do want people to know that I am in no way here trying to sell you anything. If you want things, great, and I'm gonna provide what I can, but I'm also here just to document my journey as a creative, as an artist, as a person who doesn't have the freedom to do this full time, but would love the opportunity to, right? I'm somebody who just wants a place where I can let my creativity fly, where I can talk about it with like-minded people just like you. And if you don't accept that, you don't accept that, and that's fine, then this is not the right space for you. But if you do, and you're here for the ride and the journey, and you want to sit down and crochet your patterns, crochet somebody else's patterns, crochet with me, knit with me, create with me, and build a better world, because when you create, you make the world a better place. It does not matter what you're creating, what you're building, you do. And that is really, truly, I think, what being an artist means to me. Being an artist means making things that make the world a better place. And what can make the world a better place is putting out a painting that makes someone smile, putting out a pattern that makes somebody feel confident in themselves. It means that every day I get to choose to put a positive thing into the world rather than a negative one. So I think for me, that's the difference between being an artist and a hobbyist. An artist is somebody who chooses to put their work out there for others to enjoy, whereas a hobbyist is somebody who does it just for themselves. But I also don't want anybody to think that I don't think if you don't put your work out there that you're not an artist. It's the concept of it. I think that if you like to do watercolor painting in your journal at home, you're an artist, just because you don't share it with the general public. The concept of artist for me versus hobbyist for me is that I get to share my creations with people who, whether they're receptive to it or not, get something out of it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm excited about what this pattern is doing for my motivation, for my creative juices. It's giving me a project to work towards that's not just, oh, I'm making myself another garment. It is a potentially impactful piece, you know? And I've seen a lot of patterns out there. There's like the, I think it's called like the defeat ice hat or something like that. That piece has an impact, and people have purchased that piece because they know that their purchase matters for whatever reason. And I am not political. I'm not going to be political, but it's the concept of what that piece has done. It has brought a group of people together to talk about an issue that they care about and create things that impact. So I'm going to stop talking for a little bit. I think I'm going to ruminate on our conversation. I'm going to throw this into a little bit of a montage of me just kind of crocheting and working. And if I have more to talk about, then I will. If not, this is just going to be probably like a 10-minute video where I gab to you about what goes through my head, which is the whole point of this channel. I think I'm going to lose the game of yarn chicken here, which does happen. I almost always lose the game of yarn chicken, unfortunately. Do I have more of this yarn? I don't, and that's my bad. Do I have another color of this exact yarn? Yes, I do. I'm gonna make my stitches tighter. I am a crocheter that has fairly loose tension. I like looser tension because I think it creates better flow, but I can have better tension. I just choose not to. Whew. Made it to the end there. I'm gonna end this video here. I don't really have that much more to say. What I do want to finish with is, if you are a hobbyist looking to become an artist, I would love to know what your line in the sand is, like how you would define the difference between being an artist and hobbyist. I know I'm an artist. I think that's something that you just inherently are, like deep down inside. But I think with all of this, if you've made it to the end, I've really kind of worked through my thoughts a little bit. Being an artist versus a hobbyist, I think, is all about intention. I intend now to share my art with other people, whereas before my intention wasn't to do that. My intention was just to whatever creative juices I needed to feel, I needed to feel, right? So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I think I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, but my name is Morgan. This is Studio M. I am not a qualified YouTuber, but I am here just to create a cozy, comfy space where people can come, hang out, crochet, knit, craft, and chat. And that's really what Studio M is going to be. Eventually, sustainability-wise, I'm going to have patterns out there, and if you choose that you would like to purchase them, that is fully your choice, and I'm never going to make you feel like you have to. There's never going to be like a buy it now so you can blah, 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 or a rush for sales or anything. It's going to be what it's going to be. If people want it, great. If they don't, great. All right. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and we will chat later.